I still remember the day we made first contact. It was a day that changed everything, a day that shattered our perceptions and revealed the truth of our existence. I was just a kid then, playing in the dirt with my brother, oblivious to the cosmic events that were about to unfold. But my dad, he was a pilot for the United Earth Space Force, and he was called away that day, his face etched with a grim determination that I had never seen before. That night, as I lay in bed, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement, the news broke. A strange object, a vast, shimmering sphere had entered our solar system, and it was heading straight for Earth. Panic gripped the world as governments scrambled to respond, their weapons impotent against the technological marvel that was hurtling towards us. But then, something incredible happened. The sphere slowed, its trajectory altering as it gracefully entered orbit around our planet. It was a gesture of peace, an invitation to communication. And so, a delegation was sent, a team of our bravest and brightest, to make contact with the unknown. I watched on television, my eyes glued to the screen, as the first images of the aliens were broadcast across the globe. They were humanoid in form, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like polished silver. Their eyes, large and almond-shaped, glowed with an intelligence that was both alluring and intimidating. The aliens called themselves the Krill, and they came from a distant star system, a place they called home. They had been watching us for centuries, they said, observing our progress and our potential. And now, they had come to offer us a place in their galactic community, a chance to join the ranks of the advanced civilizations that populated the cosmos. It was a dream come true, a fantasy come to life. Humanity had always yearned for the stars, for the chance to explore the vastness of space and discover the secrets of the universe. And now, it seemed, the dream was within our grasp. But as the years passed and our relationship with the Krill deepened, a darker truth began to emerge. We were not equals, not in their eyes. We were a curiosity, a novelty, a pet project to be studied and analyzed. They shared their technology with us, yes, but it was always with a patronizing air, a sense of superiority that grated on our pride. And then, there was the issue of the other races, the countless species that inhabited the Krill's galactic community. We were introduced to them, of course, welcomed into their fold with smiles and platitudes. But there was always an undercurrent of tension, a sense that we were not truly accepted, that we were tolerated at best. The breaking point came when the Krill invited us to join their military alliance, a vast armada that patrolled the galaxy, enforcing their laws and maintaining order. It was a tempting offer, a chance to flex our muscles on a cosmic stage. But there was a catch. We would be fighting their wars, not ours. We would be pawns in their game, expendable soldiers in their quest for galactic domination. It was then that we realized the truth. We were not the equals the Krill had promised us. We were not even allies. We were tools, weapons, to be used and discarded as they saw fit. And so, we made a decision. A decision that would change the course of history. We rebelled. It was a bloody and brutal war, a conflict that raged across the stars and consumed entire worlds. The Krill, with their advanced technology and superior numbers, were confident of victory. They underestimated us, underestimated our tenacity and our will to survive. But we fought back, tooth and nail, with every ounce of strength and cunning we possessed. We developed our own weapons, our own tactics, our own strategies. We learned to fight on their terms, to exploit their weaknesses and turn their strengths against them. And slowly, inexorably, the tide began to turn. Our pilots, trained in the harsh crucible of Earth's skies, proved to be more than a match for the Krill's vaunted warriors. Our scientists, driven by a desperate need for innovation, unlocked the secrets of the Krill's technology and turned it against them. Our soldiers, fueled by a righteous fury and a burning desire for vengeance, fought with a ferocity that shocked and terrified the Krill. And so, after years of bitter fighting, we emerged victorious. The Krill, their empire shattered, their pride broken, were forced to sue for peace. They had underestimated us, underestimated the human spirit. They had thought us weak, but we had proved them wrong. We had become the apex predators of the galaxy. The aftermath of the war left the galactic community in tatters. The Krill's once mighty empire was fractured, their influence waning as their former subjects scrambled for power and autonomy. But amidst the chaos, a new order was emerging, one led by an unlikely victor, humanity. Our reputation as fierce warriors and cunning strategists spread like wildfire, whispered in hushed tones on backwater planets and broadcast across the holonet. We were no longer seen as the upstarts, the newcomers, the pets of the Krill. We were the Terrans, the apex predators of the galaxy, and our name commanded respect, fear, and awe in equal measure. But with power came responsibility, a burden that weighed heavily on our shoulders. We had won the war, but the galaxy was still a dangerous and unpredictable place, filled with ancient grudges and simmering conflicts. It was our duty, as the new dominant force, to maintain order and stability, to ensure that the peace we had fought so hard for would endure. And so, we formed the Terran Alliance, a coalition of planets and species united under our banner. We offered protection and guidance to those who sought it, a beacon of hope in a galaxy scarred by war and strife. We shared our technology and our knowledge, helping others to rebuild and recover from the devastation that the Krill had wrought. But not everyone welcomed our presence. Some saw us as conquerors, usurpers who had seized power through violence and bloodshed. They formed their own alliances, their own factions, determined to resist our influence and maintain their independence. The galaxy was once again on the brink of war, and this time, we were at the center of it. But we were not afraid. We had faced down the Krill, the most powerful empire in the galaxy, and emerged victorious. We had tasted the bitter sting of betrayal and the sweet nectar of revenge. We were not the same naive and trusting humans who had first made contact with the Krill all those years ago. We were battle-hardened, scarred, and wiser. We would not be intimidated. We would not be bullied. We would not back down. And so, we fought. We fought with every ounce of strength and cunning we possessed, with every weapon in our arsenal, with every trick we had learned in the crucible of war. We faced down our enemies, one by one, crushing their rebellions and dismantling their alliances. We showed them the true meaning of fear, the true power of the Terran spirit. And as the years passed, our reputation grew. We became known as the enforcers of peace, the guardians of order. We were respected, even revered, by those who had once opposed us. We had earned their trust, their loyalty, their admiration. But our journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast and infinite, filled with countless worlds and unknown dangers. There were still threats lurking in the shadows, ancient evils waiting to be unleashed. We knew that our work was not done, that our destiny was far from fulfilled. We were the Terrans, the apex predators of the galaxy. And we would not rest until peace and justice reigned supreme, until every corner of the cosmos knew our name and trembled at our might. As the Terran Alliance solidified its position as the dominant force in the galaxy, we began to receive strange reports from the fringes of explored space. Whispers of a shadow organization, operating in secrecy, manipulating events from behind the scenes. They called themselves the Order, and their influence seemed to stretch across multiple star systems, their agents weaving a web of intrigue and deceit. At first, we dismissed these reports as mere rumors, the paranoid ramblings of those who feared our growing power. But as the evidence mounted, we could no longer ignore the threat that the Order posed. Their agents were everywhere, infiltrating our ranks, sowing discord among our allies, and even attempting to assassinate our leaders. We launched a full-scale investigation, deploying our intelligence operatives to every corner of the galaxy. We uncovered a vast network of spies, saboteurs, and assassins, all working towards a common goal, the destabilization of the Terran Alliance and the restoration of the old order. But as we delved deeper into the Order's secrets, we discovered a truth that shook us to our core. The Order was not a mere organization, a group of disgruntled malcontents seeking to reclaim their lost power. They were something far more sinister, far more ancient. They were the Krill. Not the fractured and weakened Krill that we had defeated in the war, but a hidden faction, a secret cabal that had survived the collapse of their empire. They had gone underground, biding their time, waiting for the opportune moment to strike back. And now, that moment had arrived. The Krill had learned from their mistakes, adapted to our tactics, and developed new weapons and technologies. They had infiltrated our ranks, poisoned our minds, and turned our allies against us. They were playing a long game, a game of shadows and whispers, and they were winning. The Terran Alliance was on the brink of collapse, our unity shattered, our morale broken. We had become the very thing we had fought against, a tyrannical empire blinded by its own power. We had lost sight of our ideals, our principles, our humanity. But just when all seemed lost, a glimmer of hope emerged. A small group of Terran rebels, disillusioned with the Alliance's corruption and brutality, had joined forces with a faction of Krill dissidents who had rejected the Order's extremist ideology. Together, they formed a new alliance, a united front against the common enemy. And so, the war began anew. A war unlike any other, a war fought not just on the battlefield, but in the hearts and minds of every sentient being in the galaxy. It was a war for the soul of humanity, a war for the future of the Terran Alliance, a war for the very survival of our species. And in the end, it was a war that we would win. But not through brute force or technological superiority. We would win through the power of unity, the strength of our ideals, and the resilience of the human spirit. We would win by remembering who we were, where we came from, and what we were fighting for. We were the Terrans, the apex predators of the galaxy. And we would not be defeated. Not by the Krill, not by the Order, not by anyone. We would rise from the ashes of our mistakes, stronger and more determined than ever before. We would reclaim our destiny, our purpose, our place in the cosmos. In the chaos of the renewed conflict, a new leader emerged from the ranks of the Terran rebels. A young woman named Anya Petrova, a brilliant tactician and charismatic orator, who had risen through the ranks of the Terran Alliance military before becoming disillusioned with its corruption. She had witnessed firsthand the atrocities committed in the name of Terran supremacy, and she vowed to restore the ideals upon which our civilization had been built. Anya's message of unity and hope resonated with Terrans and Krill alike, inspiring a new wave of resistance against the Order's tyranny. Under her leadership, the Rebel Alliance grew in strength and numbers, their forces bolstered by defectors from both sides of the conflict who had grown weary of the endless bloodshed. The war raged on, a brutal and bloody affair that consumed entire star systems. But Anya's strategic brilliance and her unwavering belief in the righteousness of their cause proved to be a formidable weapon. She outmaneuvered the Order's forces at every turn, exploiting their weaknesses and turning their strengths against them. But the Order was not easily defeated. They had centuries of experience in the art of manipulation and subterfuge, and they had infiltrated every level of Terran society. They used propaganda and misinformation to sow discord among the rebels, pitting Terran against Krill, soldier against civilian. Anya knew that the war could not be won on the battlefield alone. She understood that the true enemy was not the Krill, but the hatred and mistrust that had poisoned the hearts of both species. She embarked on a campaign of reconciliation, reaching out to the Krill dissidents and forging a new alliance based on mutual respect and understanding. The turning point came when Anya and a group of Krill leaders met in a secret summit on a neutral planet. There, they laid the groundwork for a new era of cooperation, a future where Terrans and Krill could coexist as equals, working together to rebuild the shattered galaxy. The news of this historic meeting sent shockwaves through the Order's ranks. Their carefully crafted narrative of Terran aggression and Krill victimhood crumbled, replaced by a message of hope and unity. The Order's support dwindled, their soldiers deserting in droves, their leaders turning on each other in a desperate bid for power. In the end, the Order was defeated not by military might, but by the power of ideas. The Terrans and Krill, united under Anya's leadership, had shown the galaxy that there was another way, a path of peace and cooperation. The war was over, but the work was just beginning. The galaxy was still a fractured and wounded place, scarred by the conflict and the Order's manipulations. But with Anya at the helm, a new era of peace and prosperity was dawning. The Terran Alliance, reborn as a symbol of unity and hope, would lead the galaxy into a brighter future, a future where all species could live together in harmony, free from the shadow of war and the tyranny of the Order. The Terrans had once been the apex predators of the galaxy, feared and respected for their military might. But now, they were something more. They were the architects of a new order, the champions of a brighter future. They were the hope of the galaxy. In the wake of the Order's defeat, the galaxy embarked on a path of healing and rebuilding. The Terran Alliance, under Anya's guidance, led the charge, implementing sweeping reforms to ensure that the mistakes of the past were never repeated. The military was restructured, its power decentralized and its focus shifted from conquest to peacekeeping. Corrupt officials were removed from office, replaced by individuals who embodied the Alliance's ideals of justice and equality. Anya Petrova, once a rebel leader, now found herself at the helm of a vast interstellar empire. But she was not a ruler in the traditional sense. She was a servant of the people, a champion of their rights and aspirations. She established a new government, a council composed of representatives from all member species, a true embodiment of galactic unity. The Krill, once our enemies, now became our partners in progress. Their technological expertise and vast knowledge of the galaxy proved invaluable in the reconstruction effort. Together, we developed new technologies to heal the wounds of war, to restore the ravaged ecosystems of countless planets, and to improve the lives of all sentient beings. But the galaxy was still a dangerous place, filled with rogue factions and power-hungry warlords. The remnants of the Order, though scattered and weakened, continued to plot in the shadows, seeking to undermine the fragile peace. Anya knew that the Alliance could not rest on its laurels, that it must remain vigilant and prepared to defend its hard-won freedoms. To this end, she established a new military force, the Galactic Peacekeepers, a multinational force dedicated to maintaining order and upholding the rule of law. The Peacekeepers were not conquerors, but protectors. their mission to safeguard the innocent and bring justice to those who threaten the peace. As the years passed, the galaxy began to heal. Trade routes reopened, diplomatic relations were restored, and a sense of optimism permeated the cosmos. The Terran Alliance, once a symbol of oppression, had become a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity and the resilience of the human spirit. But Anya knew that the true test of the Alliance's strength lay not in its military might, but in its ability to uphold its ideals in the face of adversity. The galaxy was still a vast and unpredictable place, filled with unknown dangers and unforeseen challenges. The Terran Alliance would face many trials in the years to come, but Anya was confident that as long as they remained true to their principles, they would prevail. The Terrans had come a long way from their humble beginnings on Earth. They had faced war, betrayal, and the threat of extinction. But through it all, they had persevered, emerging stronger and more united than ever before. They had become the guardians of the galaxy, the protectors of peace, the champions of hope. And their journey was far from over. A decade passed. The scars of war began to fade, replaced by bustling spaceports, verdant terraformed planets, and a renewed sense of purpose across the galaxy. Anya, now a seasoned stateswoman, had guided the Terran Alliance through countless challenges, always upholding the principles of peace, justice, and unity. Her tireless efforts had earned her the respect and admiration of countless species, but also the enmity of those who still clung to the old ways of power and domination. Whispers of discontent echoed through the corridors of power, fueled by shadowy figures who sought to undermine Anya's authority and plunge the galaxy back into chaos. One day, as Anya addressed a gathering of galactic leaders, a transmission crackled through the comm system. It was a message from a Terran patrol ship, stationed on the edge of known space. They had detected a strange energy signature, a powerful anomaly that defied explanation. Anya's heart pounded with a mixture of curiosity and dread. She knew that the galaxy was still full of mysteries, of unexplored regions and undiscovered phenomena. But this anomaly, this strange energy signature, felt different. It was ancient, powerful, and utterly alien. Against the advice of her advisors, Anya decided to investigate the anomaly herself. She assembled a small team of trusted experts, including scientists, engineers, and security personnel, and set off on a journey into the unknown. The journey was long and arduous, taking them through uncharted territories and past the borders of known space. As they approached the source of the anomaly, the sensors on their ship went haywire, their readings fluctuating wildly. The ship's hull creaked and groaned under the strain of the immense energy field, and the crew grew increasingly uneasy. Finally, they arrived at their destination. It was a sight that none of them could have prepared for, a spectacle that defied all logic and reason. A vast, shimmering sphere hung in the void, pulsating with an eerie light. It was larger than any celestial body they had ever encountered, dwarfing even the largest stars. Its surface was smooth and featureless, save for a single, gaping maw that seemed to beckon them closer. Anya ordered the ship to approach the sphere cautiously, their weapons systems on high alert. As they drew nearer, the sphere's energy field intensified, pulling the ship towards it like a moth to a flame. Anya and her team watched in horror as the ship's hull began to buckle under the strain, the metal groaning and warping as the sphere's gravitational pull grew stronger. They were being drawn into the maw, their fate uncertain, their future unknown. The last transmission from the ship was a garbled message from Anya, her voice filled with fear and determination. "This is it," she said. "We're going in. Whatever happens, remember. The Terran Alliance will endure." Then the transmission cut out, and the ship vanished into the maw of the sphere, leaving behind only a trail of cosmic dust and a galaxy holding its breath.